and welcome to another episode of EOB TV, Way of the Warrior, UFC 141. It is this weekend, Brock Lesnar and Alistair Overeem, or as we've been calling it around the office, we found the two biggest guys in the division. Let's put them in a ring and see how they celebrate New Year's. Lots of questions, of course, around Brock Lesnar with him coming back from his second bout of diverticulitis. Alistair Overeem, lots of questions. Can he stop Brock's takedown? Everybody in the heavyweight division that Brock has fought, he has taken down. Granted, he wasn't that successful against Cain Velasquez when Cain pounded him out with a TKO, but aside from that, he has absolutely ran through everyone that he's met. He lost to Frank Mir in his first fight, but since then, he's pretty much plowed through everybody. Alistair Overeem looked terrible in that Verdum fight. Absolutely terrible. So here's what I think is going to happen. Alistair wants to keep this standing up. That's no surprise. Brock wants to take this down. But what Brock's going to do is try and stand in the middle and see if he can weather the storm. Because if he can take Alistair into deep waters, cardio is not going to be an issue for Brock Lesnar. That said, I still think if Brock gets in trouble, he's got the weapon where he can take Alistair down. Now, Alistair's obviously got some submissions, he's got submission defense, and he can get back up. And if he can do that and get it back into the ring, he can control the fight. If Brock, though, who's more compact and a couple pounds heavier probably on fight night, if he can control Alistair on the ground and start hitting him with those lunch boxes, it's going to be lights out for Alistair Overeem, and I think Brock's going to win this one. Not easily. I think it's going to be a great fight, actually, but I think Brock's going to win this one and head back to the heavyweight title, where Dos Santos will pick him apart as Dos Santos has done to everybody else that he's met. Next on the card, we've got, of course, Nate Diaz going to be taking on Donald the Cowboy Cerrone. If you missed the press conference, it looked a lot like a weigh-in with them going nose to nose, and the 209 coming out ahead as they knocked the hat of Donald Cerrone to the floor, causing some sort of weird ruckus in the middle of a press conference. Looked a lot like a Mike Tyson fight, and Dana White looked a lot like Don King, probably more than he ever wanted to look like Don King. This is an interesting fight. Second one down back at lightweight for Nate Diaz after he absolutely got embarrassed by Rory McDonald. He finished Takanori Gomi, and then now he looks to take on Donald Cerrone. But Donald Cerrone is a very strong lightweight and a very angry, I dare say angrier than Nate Diaz, which is why I think Donald Cerrone is going to win this one. It's going to be a very, very fun fight, and it's going to have to be to out-excite the Johny Hendricks John Fitch fight, which I think is going to be a very, very boring fight, as John Fitch desperately looks to get back in the title hunt with a win over Johny Hendricks, who's 11-1. Johnny's going to move to 11-2 because I think Hendricks is going to fall victim to the grinding pace that John Fitch can absolutely put you through. It is a brutal, brutal, brutal universe to fight John Fitch. And on Friday night, it's not going to be any easier for Johny Hendricks. Johny Hendricks, a little bit more explosive, but I really think that Fitch wants that title shot, and he wants it bad. So if he can't finish it and finish it quickly and decisively and explosively, which he's not really all that well known for, he is going to suck the will out of Johny Hendricks and walk away with the W. And remember, this is the first time the pay-per-view heads back to 10 p.m. So the prelims on Facebook, those are going to start at 7. Spike is going to be at 9 Eastern, and then the pay-per-view kicks off at 10 p.m. Eastern. If you're on Xbox Live, I'm not sure if they're still offering it free, but last week, if you downloaded the UFC app off the new cloud system on the Xbox 360, you could get this pay-per-view for free. You might want to try it if you've got an Xbox. Free UFC on the Xbox, brought to you by the Marines. They didn't pay me to say that, but they're the ones paying you to watch the UFC free on Xbox 360. Check that out and catch us Fridays at 6. It's Way of the Warrior. I'm Eric O'Brien.